So, hello, ladies and gentlemen, it's DMan the Great here, and I am back once again after the hiatus that I've had to come and speak about the NBA in-season tournament and all things that so far. So, as you guys should already know, we've had about 4 games that have been played in the final 8 of this new tournament, and I'm gonna kind of describe all of them to you, give you a little review of them. You know. So, as someone who has been engaged in the NBA landscape for a little while, just to talk about the in-season tournament, because today is the semifinal, and the Pelicans will play the Lakers, and the Milwaukee Bucks will play the Indiana Pacers tonight. So, just to kind of do a quick review, the Knicks played the Bucks the other night, and the Bucks sort of just rolled them over, put them out of their misery. Wasn't really a game. Lakers played the Suns. There were some controversial calls, but naturally, anything Lakers will be the most controversial thing in the league. No matter win or lose, people come out of the woodwork to talk about the Lakers every day, all day. And then we have our Boston Celtics played the Indiana Pacers, and the Indiana Pacers proved to be an offensive juggernaut as they were the entire game. There was at different points that it looked like Indiana was going to lose to Boston because Jaylen Brown hit some big shots, or it was a few guys that were really sharp on the Boston Celtics. They just couldn't pull it out in the end. And then we have the Pelicans versus Kings. I didn't necessarily watch too much of that game myself personally because it's been a busy work. It's been a busy work month, as you know. So the Sacramento Kings, being the Sacramento Kings, lost the game. But it wasn't necessarily their fault. It's like you come against a team that has a lot of dogs and you turn the ball. I mean, because I said it wasn't necessarily her, but they turn the ball over a lot. You got a good team that forces turnovers like the Pelicans, and the Pelicans are finally starting to get healthy. So it's like they'll be able to kind of get into the groove and start and get their roll on here. And that's really what you want to do, as far as you always want to get your roll on. It's pretty much the example of what I'm trying to say. Just because it's like it's hard to establish a team effort and team energy when you have different. So when you have different guys playing every night, you don't know who's playing, what they're doing, how they're doing it. But it's like if you can get the full team of guys playing and running up, it's pretty easy to get a good roll on. You want to have consistency and continuity, so when those times come, you do have to play one of the best teams in the league, like you're playing a Milwaukee Bucks, like you're playing the healthy Denver Nuggets. We're going to get to them in a second. Just based on that, it's like playing a healthy team like that, you have to really be on the ball and really be on point to hoop. And just off of that alone, like how the Denver Nuggets right now are missing Jamal Murray and a few other pieces. I watched them play the Clippers the other night, about a week or so or two ago, and then they beat the Clippers without Jamal Murray, without Jokic, without Aaron Gordon. And it's like the big three gone beat the Clippers. And the Clippers got their get back last night, by the way. But that's beside the point. So with just issues like that, scenarios like that, it's like, what can you do to get healthy so you can compete against these teams? Because playing against James Harden, Kawhi Leonard, Paul George, and Russell Westbrook is a very difficult scenario for just about any player in the league. But it's just something simple, a couple things to talk about. You know, it's different strokes to different folks to basketball. It's very difficult to build solid continuity. It's hard to win when you're not having all of your expertise on the floor at all times. But that's enough there. With that being said, guys, the semifinalists tonight, the Lakers will play the New Orleans Pelicans, and the Milwaukee Bucks will play the Indiana Pacers. Now, these are going to be some very interesting games because it'll let us know exactly what these teams are doing, because the Lakers haven't been healthy all year. They're just getting back to having a full roster. Jared Vanderbilt has come back and has been an absolute marvel on defense, as he always is. I remember calling out a few years ago that the Lakers need to go and get somebody like Jared Vanderbilt to bolster the defense. You need a big guy that's in there trying his hardest and getting stops, getting boards. You need people like that on your NBA team, especially when you're fielding a few older players being your star, because you got LeBron James and Anthony Davis providing the bulk of the offense. You need that defense, or at least the energy guy that could come in and lock some stuff down. But then on the other side, flip side, we have the New Orleans Pelicans, who are just getting healthy. Zion is playing. CJ McCollum has just come back playing. Brandon Ingram has been Brandon Ingram all year. They just need to get together to where they can get to hooping. Because you remember a couple years ago, they were the number 2 seed before Zion stopped playing. And they were taken off at that time, but now it's trying to get back to where they were at that point. And if it was a fluke or not, we'll see. So on top of that, we have our other side with the Knicks and the Bucks, or not the Knicks and the Bucks, but the Pacers and the Bucks. It depends on what kind of offense the Pacers can really put together, because they're the best offense in the league right now, one of the best offenses of all time by the numbers. So just with that, in and of itself, you have a very daunting task of the athletic, large Milwaukee Bucks. But the Milwaukee Bucks have been playing their worst defense this season that they have played in this Giannis era. So is the pratfalls of they still have 2 DPOY caliber players in Brook Lopez and Giannis, so they should be a good defense. But if you're cutting off the interior with Giannis and Brook Lopez, the thing is, Indiana, they don't really play too much defense, so it's looking really rough. It's looking really rough. So we're gonna just have to go based on that. What can we do? What can we see? If Indiana's rolling tonight, maybe they could take it. If Milwaukee's playing like they did the other night, and oh boy, if they could get to 140 just like the other night, how Indiana wants to make it to 140, it's going to be a long night for Indiana. But that's all I have to say today. Thank you guys for listening and watching. If you're here, love, hugs, and kisses, and all that good shit. You feel me? And I'll catch you guys later.